Welcome back to segment 3 of the Starving Artists episode of Warm Yogurt on Your Back. Once again, I'm Mr. J.
And I am starving artist Xavier.
And I think we're going to start shifting gears a little bit and talk about possible, if any, solutions.
But before we get into that, we would just like to point out that we discovered the actual secret. John Lennon asked for that bullet.
Oh boy. Yeah, we're probably going to get in some trouble for that one.
Nope, no trouble.
But
he asked for it.
But anyway, possible solutions, if there are any, to this starving artist problem. Xavier, your thoughts?
Biggest problem with what you said. The guy that you grew up with, all of a sudden he's famous for making squiggly lines. First off, that's terrible. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Now, I'm in no way berating him because
he made it.
He did make it, and this is like what we talked about in the music industry. First, the Virgin episode of Warm Yogurt on Your Back is, yeah, boy bands. Do you know what? Fucking props to you. You did something I couldn't fucking do, and you made it.
I have tremendous respect for Justin Timberlake. I keep saying that.
But I'm kind of confused and trying to wrap my head around squiggly lines with a paintbrush is like uber fucking famous, and stuff that takes skill to do is overlooked. And
maybe he was inspired by shirts that cowboy singers wear.
I don't know. I like I said, I'm not berating the man by any means. I give him credit for making it in the art industry.
Yeah.
I'm fucking confused is what I am. And that's what I'm not understanding. Do you have to be in the right place at the right time? Do you have to like trip and fall into the right store? Do you have to accidentally paint on somebody's shit and they say, wow, I like that? I don't know.
Well, for starters, Halo 7 is going to be doing its own expos at some point. Did you ever consider maybe doing a Starving Artist Expo?
I tried. And I was actually trying to put together an art festival for indie artists to actually benefit a local charity here that I'm actually very fond of. I'm not going to say their name right now because I don't want
I gotcha. I
them coming back at us and saying, hey, you used our name, blah, 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 blah. But eventually, we're going to get to the point where I'm actually going to work with this charity.
Yeah.
But I reached out to a shit ton of independent artists of all walks of life, from visual effects for movies, like the shit you see on Face Off, to canvas painters, to poets, musicians, sculptors, ice sculptors, wood sculptors, makeup artists. I mean, I reached out to all of these people, and I got one person that was interested. And
maybe because there was no profit for them.
The thing is that the venue cost me $200. I paid it out of pocket. What I was charging these vendors, these artists, was $20 for the entire weekend booth. $20. That's it.
Right.
Everything you made was yours.
Very nice.
I was just trying to make the money to cover the cost of the venue and the catering.
Yeah.
Because I was going to make it a catered affair so everybody was comfortable. And I was even thinking of charging like a $5 head charge just to make that little extra to kick back to the charity.
Right.
And we were going to have raffles, silent auctions, the whole nine. And I had it all laid out. It was beautiful. I may make this attempt again here soon. It depends on what kind of feedback we actually get from this. And but like I said, I got one response. One person was interested, and that was it. And
Props to that one person, by the way.
well, unfortunately, that one person is no longer with us. He passed a few years ago, and I love him for his passion for the art. He was an indie filmmaker. He was a painter. He did movie makeup. I mean, he was a good dude. I loved him. He supported the indie cause and was big on it. I wish he was still around because he'd be huge for this. But it's rare to find the indie artists that, how'd you put it, aren't lazy.
Well, what I meant by lazy was the modern art theme, as opposed to now. I don't think starving artists are lazy, but
no, there's still a laziness about it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's kind of like the bands. Okay, we both know that a band who takes $5,000 worth of equipment, piles it into a $500 vehicle to play at a $50 venue. Most of the time, when you give them an opportunity, like say, for example, what we give them, they won't do it.
No, because there's no upfront cheddar.
Yeah, and that's one of the stupidest things I have ever seen. And I think that might. I can't say. Once again, I don't know the industry, so I can't say for certain that that's the case when it comes to starving artists. But I imagine human nature, it tends to go around for everybody. In every industry, there are people who are really good but terrible at managing their time or giving a shit or anything like that. They'd rather be a victim.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I can actually agree with you on. A lot of starving artists do see themselves as victims,
right?
And in a way, I kind of see myself victimized, but at the same time, it's not for a lack of me trying, because I am attending festivals and conventions. I've got my art on the internet, on art pages.
Yeah, you actually push your product. You get out there as much as possible.
Right. I'm trying to push the product. I'm not just sitting. I'm not sitting back with a stack of paintings in my closet going, "Why aren't people buying my shit?"
Right.
I'm out there.
But even then, with you being out there, you're barely getting any bites.
Right. And the bites I am getting are bullshit.
Yeah. Because you know what? I think you brought up a good thing last segment or the segment before that, where you compared it to buying a vehicle. Maybe we need a Kelly Blue Book for our starving artists. We have a base value for things, which I know is not actually possible, and I'm saying it more for humor, but it still kind of makes sense, because a lot of people, like what you say, they look at your artwork and they're like, well, that's not worth that price tag, and you're like, actually, if you add in all the stuff like that, you're getting it better than what I would have originally wanted to price it as.
Right, and people just don't see it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
It's just like, for example, in my tenure as a tattoo artist, because I found this to be a huge thing in the tattoo industry. A lot of people are like, I want this name. And I'm like, all right, it's going to be $75. Well, why the fuck is it going to be $75? It's 4 letters. Needles, ink. I got to set this shit up. I have to sterilize everything. I have to take the time to stencil it. Then I have to take the time to ink it. This is all time and product that I'm putting into you.
That I could be putting somewhere else.
Right. Then I have some people, like I did this huge piece on a guy's forearm. I actually sat down and custom designed it, which I always did with tattoos that I did. I always custom designed everything. But I sat down and custom designed it to his specifications. I gave him a price. He paid me that price, then some, and then tipped me a hellacious amount on top of it. Why? Because he appreciated the time and the effort that I put into it. He appreciated the quality of the art. He appreciated the quality of the tattoo.
Hero 7 Industries loves you, dude.
He was very appreciative, and I do have customers out there that are like that, and you're always welcome back in the chair anytime. I still have the equipment.
Well, I guess that comes down to it. Is the value. No one simply sees, or many people just simply do not see the actual value of the work.
Right, but I've got people that are like, I want to design this big, and I'm like, all right, that's going to be about $200. Well, I'm not fucking paying that. I'm like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. You go down the street to this tattoo shop, and they're going to charge you about $400 or $500 for it, just to sit down in the fucking chair. I mean, that's all right. If you don't want to come to me, that's fine. I get it. I'm not twisting your arm. I'm not putting a fucking gun to your head. I'm not telling you you have to.
I've been in that chair. You do twist the arm.
I'm just telling you that you've never been in my chair yet. But you will be.
No, I don't want no fucking penguins.
Oh, you will be. But at the same time, I know the market. I know my competition. And I don't talk down about my competition, because there are several talented artists out there that are just working for bullshit shops.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to do what the shop does.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that, you got to get out of that shop. I personally will not go to certain shops because of certain artists at the shop. I don't give a fuck how good you are. The owner's a dickhead. I will not step foot in your shop. I have one specific guy that does my work, and I will continue to go to that guy until he retires. And when it comes to the point of opening a tattoo shop, I'm hoping to acquire this guy's services.
Yeah. But you also won't fuck him over with the bullshit rules.
Right, exactly.
You give him the brass tacks and actually show him his worth.
Right. But my point is as an artist, it spans across all mediums, not just canvas work. It spans to tattoo work. It spans to pencil drawings, computer designing, graphic designing on computers. That's a huge fucking thing now because of fucking technology. And I personally fucking hate it.
I know.
But being in this industry now, I'm forced into it. And we covered this in the Hilo 7 Foundations, is that I had to learn these programs, and now I'm good with these programs. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of enjoying some of it. But, like, I made this creepy fucking bear in this one program. It's spooky. You'll get to see him later in Absolute, but it's just... it's people don't know the worth of the artist because either A, they aren't familiar with the process, B, they don't care about the process, or C, their heads are so far up their own asses that they can't see past what an actual person's actual value is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
like I said, I think it comes down to Halo 7 can do a lot of work as we move along, where we can kickstart people's lives, push them in the right direction, offer them on our website, things like that. Possibly, it would have to thoroughly go through you, because I don't know shit about it. I look at that and go, ooh, look, squiggly lines. Let's go ahead and sell that.
Right.
But
well, I'll tell you what. We're about to take a quick commercial break. We need to refresh our coffees, get a fresh pack of smokes, and when we come back, we're going to get into the possibility of having a Starving Artist Fest, as Xavier mentioned. And I've got a couple ideas, and let's see what kind of responses we get and see what we can do as a community. So, till we speak again, I'm Mr. J.
And I'm Xavier.
And we'll be right back.